Hello friends, this is Shashikant Fadtare from Trigger Business School. Today we are going to see how we can use data in Microsoft Excel to create visualization, data visualization in Tableau software. So I double click on the Tableau software icon. Meanwhile it opens, let's look at the data that we are going to visualize. I open the Excel file. So this is our data that we are going to visualize or analyze in Tableau software. So this is a part of HR analytics. Now we have the first name, last name, gender, department, training hours, performance rating, salary hike percentage, and performance incentives in our Excel file. So what kind of visualizations, data visualizations are possible? So we can do department wise training hours, department wise performance rating, department wise salary hike, department wise performance incentives, or even gender wise we can do all this. We can find out the total number of training hours per department, or the average training hours, or performance ratings, which will always be an average. Then salary hike percentage also should be an average. Performance incentives, depending on requirement, we can use either sum of incentives distributed per department or the average performance incentives a person receives. So now let's close this, and our Tableau software has opened. This is the first landing interface that opens when we double clicked on the Tableau icon. Let's connect Microsoft Excel. So this is our file, employee training, that we are going to analyze using Tableau software. So Tableau is a data visualization tool used for analytics. I'm just lifting this line up, click and drag, so that we are able to see the table here. So this is that Excel file we have connected, and these were the titles of the columns that we saw already: first name, last name, gender, department, training hours, performance rating, salary hike, performance incentives, and these are the data types. So this we call dimensions, and the hash we call the measures. That is, the data type is the numbers here basically, and these are the text data types. So right side here you can see the entire table which we have picked up from the Excel. All the column titles you can see here. You can also sort this data to see which is the lowest and highest figure. Click here once and you can see this is in ascending order. So 10 is the least number of hours. Click again on this and you will get the highest figure on top, that is 55. So training hours ranges from 10 to 55. Scroll to the left. You can use this scroll bar to ratings also you can see. click here, you see now lowest is 2. Again click on this button, highest is 5. After having checked the table, you can go to sheet 1. Click on this sheet 1 to make our first visualization. It is processing the data. Now here we are going to make our first visualization. So like we see in pivot tables, there are columns, there are rows. Similarly here also we have columns, we have rows. Let us make our simple first graph department wise, performance incentives distributed. So I am clicking and dragging this department to columns here. We see the red corner on the top left. So we are ready to drop this here. So we have dropped department here. Let's bring performance incentives. So I am again clicking and dragging it. And when this red corner comes, that means we can drop it here now. So see, our graph is ready. We can put the labels above these bars, rather columns. So what we have to do is again bring performance incentives and put on the marks here. This time it is label. We can similarly bring performance incentives and put on size. So the larger is the width, larger is the value, and in case the value is lesser, the width is also less. Similarly, you can bring performance incentives and put on color. So see here, again the larger the value, larger is the rather intense, more intense is the color, whereas the lesser the value, the less intense the light color, dark color, light color, more value, less value. You can even change the graph type. Click on show me and you can go clicking one by one. So this is a text table. You have a simple pivot table like table. You have department and the values, that is the sum of performance incentives. Second is heat map. Here again, the less the value, the lesser is the width, more the value, more is the width. This is highlight table. Here we can see both the color, the values also are visible, and even the color. The dense or dense color, the value is high. The less intense color, the value is low. So similarly, you can go on clicking and see various types of charts possible, including the box plot or the bubble graph. You can choose whichever you want. Now for example, we've chosen bubble graph here. Here we can see the name of the departments here, but we can't see the value yet. Only when we move the cursor here, we can see that this is 7,50,000. But what if we want to see the value permanently here? So it's easy. Bring the performance incentives and drop it on the label. So see now, below the department name, we can see the values also. Let's rename this by right clicking on sheet 1. Let's call it department wise performance incentives. Quite easy, isn't it? Let's make our second visualization. Click on this icon below here. This is for new sheet. Now let's do something else. Department wise ratings. So department wise we have got sum of performance ratings. But sum of performance ratings doesn't mean anything. See, this is production 105, HR 13. The performance rating should always be on the scale of say 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. So what we want is average, not the sum. So let us change it to average. So what we did is we clicked on this small arrow, we went to measure, and instead of sum we have chosen average. Now the figures you can see here 3.571, 2.6. So now everything is on the scale of 1 to 5. But we can't see the values yet. So we have average here. Click Control on your keyboard, drag this to the label and leave, and at the end leave control. Don't leave the control button till you drag this on label. So on the labels now we've got average performance rating. Also one more change that we need to do is, now this is 3.571. We have at least 3 places after decimal point. We want only 2. So what we do is we go to the label average performance rating and let's go to format. In format, under default you can see numbers. From this list choose custom and here you can reduce it to 1. Now you can see here the change has reflected 3.4, 3.8. This is how the ratings are. Click outside anywhere and this will go away. You can cross this to come to the original table field list. So this is our department wise average ratings. So this is our second graph. Let's make a couple of more graphs. Add worksheet, department wise training hours. So again we want to see the labels, bring the training hours on the label, drop it. Now we see that HR only 95 hours of training, whereas in production 904 hours of training. Making the graph or visualization is just one part of HR analytics. Actual HR analytics begins after making the graph. Now you're looking at the graph carefully, meticulously, and trying to figure out the meaning from this graph. That is, you're bringing out the inferences from the graph. So what is the inference? HR has got the minimum number of training hours, whereas production seems to have got highest number of training hours. Now you have to find out the reason why it is so, why HR only less number of training hours, why production, so that you can look at the other data that you may have to find out the reason. Maybe that HR people have already received sufficient training in the past and they don't need to undergo significant trainings, so that is why it is less. And maybe production could be that there are more new joinees this time and we had to spend a lot of time and budget on the training for production. So that is up to you to do the slicing and dicing of the data and find out the reasons and then take necessary actions. You can click on show me, it goes away. This is a toggle button. Click on show me, it comes back again. So this is how the toggle button works. Let's rename this as department wise training hours. Now we'll make one more graph. This time we are going to create a calculated field. For example, in performance rating, we will create a calculated field like anything below 3 rating is poor performance, 3 is average, and more than 3 is good performance. So what we do is we click on this small arrow, we go to create, we go to calculated field. Let's rename this calculation one as performance category. Now, since we started from performance rating, the performance rating is already taken up. Let's begin our formula string. So I'm typing if and I select from the list. I click on this if performance rating is less than, use the symbol less than what, 3. If this is less than 3, then you can even pick from the list. Then what are we going to call it? We're going to call it poor performance. Else if I didn't close it, let me put the double quote here also. Since this is a text, we need to put double quote on both sides. For numbers, we don't need to put. And this then if, this is a part of the formula, so you don't have to put double quote there, but this is the text that is going to appear in your graph. So for this particular text you need double quotes on either sides. So if performance rating is less than 3, then poor performance. Else if, because we have 2 more possibilities, so else we use at the end. Else if, in between whatever possibilities are there, we use else if. Else if what? Performance rating. Else if performance rating is equal to 3, then what? Double quote, average performance. So we have covered the two possibilities. Now there's only one possibility remaining, that is greater than 3. So we will simply put else this time. At the end we put else. In between whatever possibilities are there, we put else if. Else what? Else we can simply put poor performance. We don't have to mention now greater than 3, because that is what is the only possibility. So else, that is otherwise anything, if not less than 3, if not equal to 3, then what? Then only one possibility remains, that is greater than 3. So we are using else, and we are not going to give any condition. It is not required. It means obviously that it is greater than 3. So else poor performance. And we end it, END, choose. Now you can see here the calculation is valid on the status bar. So we click OK. So now here we are able to see performance category, which is our new calculated field. Now we want department wise performance category. Department we bring in columns, and performance category we bring in the rows. But now we see both are blue, that is both are text type of data types, but we need at least one measure. We can use department as a dimension, and performance category should be a measure, MEASURE, measure. This cannot be a text data type, so let's change it to something else. We'll go to, now I have clicked on this small arrow, I go to measure, we want to make it measure, and count is the appropriate data type, rather the measure for this. So under measure I am choosing count. Now see, this is turned green. So this is a measure, this is a dimension. Now let's press Ctrl on the keyboard and drag this on label, and at the end leave the control button. So we have, but this is total count now, 14, 5, 11, this is the total count. We don't know yet how many are poor performers, average performers, and good performers. Let me check if I made the string correctly or not. I go to the small arrow here again. This is how you can review and change the formula string that you have made. Click here, go to edit, and see I have made a mistake. If performance rating less than 3, then poor performance. Else if performance rating is equal to 3, then average performance. Else it should be good performance. Good performance, and apply and OK. So you have come to know now, when you make a calculated field and when you realize there is some mistake, how to change it by clicking on the small arrow, by clicking, so sorry, this is the one that we made. Click on the small arrow and go to edit and do all the changes that you want to, and click on OK, apply and OK, or simply OK is also fine. But it is not reflected here yet. We have to split this into poor, average, and good performances. So what we'll have to do, we'll have to bring one more dimension here into columns. See, now here you have departments, and below you can see, I'll make little bigger one. So average, under accounts, average 6 people and good performers are 8. HR, 3 people are average, 2 are poor performers. Production, 5 are average performers and 19 are good performers, whereas 4 are poor performers. We can even change the order. We want first poor performers, then average, and then good. Let's see how we can do that. So this is our category that we made, performance category. I click on the small arrow, I go to sort, and then sort by what? Let's say sort by manual. I want to do it manually. So first I want poor performance, so I will drag it and bring above, then average performance, and then the good performance. This is what I want: poor performance, average, and good. See, now in production you can see poor performance, average performance, good performance. So let's rename it now. Performance category. Click outside. Now we have 4 graphs ready. Now we can make a dashboard. So the second icon here is for new dashboard, or you can go here to dashboard and click on new dashboard. It's one and the same. Let's make a dashboard. Now here we can see on the left side below this sheet section, we can see, if you move the cursor, you can see all the 4 graphs that we made. Simply double click to bring them in the dashboard. One by one go on double clicking, and we have got the dashboard. But this hasn't taken the full width yet. Let's first of all remove this. We don't need click here and cross. We don't need it here. If you need, you can keep it. There's no problem. Size, it has not taken full width. We'll go to size. Click on this small arrow. Then we'll go to range. And we'll choose automatic. Now we've got a full width dashboard. You can either save it on your computer as the TWB, that is Tableau file. You can see here Tableau workbook twb.twd. You can give any name, my DB, my dashboard. You can save it, or if you want to save it on the cloud, you can save to Tableau public, so that you can share the link to your team members or management sitting in the other cities or states or countries. Log in with the credentials that you must have already made. If not, you can click on create an account, sign in. Now the same dashboard will open in web browser, from where you can download in various ways and also share with other team members and management members. So this is my dashboard, which is on the cloud now. That is, we are able to see from the web browser. You can share it by clicking on share. If your Microsoft Outlook or whatever email, default email is connected, you can directly click on this and email, or other way is copy the link. The link is copied and you can mail that link to anyone you want to show this dashboard to. You can also download this dashboard in various formats like image, crosstab, PDF, PowerPoint or Tableau workbook. Let's see how it looks like in PowerPoint. Yes, I want this view, the same view to come in the PPT. I click on the PPT. Let's see how it looks like. So this is the first slide, this is the second one. So we have our dashboard here. You can add slides and you can note down what are the inferences coming from this, that is the meaningful picture coming out of this. You can also add a slide for recommendations, what do you want to recommend to the HR head or to the top management, what we must be doing to change the scenario if it is not acceptable scenario. So you can go on adding the slides here. So friends, hope you liked the session on data analytics or HR analytics using Tableau software. Thank you.